Hello, Heather here again with Underwater Panther, and I'm continuing my Gemini or ENTJ Astro-Psychological Analysis series, and today I wanted to talk about the element of air and what it represents within the Gemini or ENTJ archetype or personality type. Within our ego, this is the ego placement, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of the Mercury because our Mercury is our thinking and communicating, and there are many different subtypes of the ego. So this definitely, I see this playing out. Like myself, I'm not a full-blown Pisces. I am a Pisces sun with a Mercury in Aquarius. So that makes me extremely logical, and I actually was raised, my family, they're very logical people, and I do have a dry sense of humor, so that's the thing. Anyways, so air signs represents the mental, social, analytical, fluctuating. They need to share their thoughts to the world. They can be writers, teachers, philosophers, intellectually stimulating, and they are considered the intellectuals. So the air sign temperament, air represents thinking and communicating. It is yang or extroverted or masculine. They're a very masculine sign. That is the logical left side of our brain. It is very analytical, systematic, explicit, and it gains energy by extroversion and pushes thinking and communication outwards, but also wants to be practical. So the air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Air signs love to analyze, synthesize, and probe. They are all about communication and want to get the word out. They are alert, curious, and perceptive. They can be inventive and extremely witty and clever. Air signs can be elusive and hard to read due to normally not understanding their own feelings. If you're a thinker, you're not a feeler, so that's a thing. So there are three types of Mercury signs for Gemini. If you're a Gemini sun sign, it can only be in Cancer, Taurus, or Gemini. So the Cancer Mercury for Gemini sun is considered the caring communicator. The Mercury in Taurus for a Gemini sun is the practical communicator, and the Mercury in Gemini for a Gemini sun sign is considered the self-communicator. So breaking these down, the Mercury in Gemini, Mercury here brings it all into the mind, so it can cause them to be more reserved. They can think first before acting. They're very witty but passive and detached. They are the self-communicators or talking to the self. The devil when acting like, how do I want to be today? So they think to themselves first, then expresses or presents what they are thinking, and they kind of wake up and say, who do I want to be today? And they can start to express differently with people. They can be more manipulative and controlling. They can also be more helpful as long as you ask. They can analyze situations very well. So this is Mercury rules Gemini, and it likes to be here, but it causes friction because the sun is the father and Mercury is the son of the father trying to play the same part. And also, it's an Eastern astrological philosophy. I can't remember where this information came from. Mercury in Taurus for a Gemini sun is the practical communicator. They think and communicate, and Taurus is fixed Earth, so they really fixate on things. They get one thing out of the way before doing another, so they are more stable than Gemini and Mercury. They go step by step, and they are slow with transitioning between projects and communication. Mercury slows down in Earth, but can manifest scattered situations because of how the sun acts. It can lose objects often, for example, can be judged wrong due to this. So yeah, Geminis are like Pisces in the sense that they tend to lose things quite often and are scattered. It's kind of like an ADHD thing. It's kind of hilarious because I go through waves myself with losing things. but they can stay on task pretty well with schedules and stuff like that. And they're all about how and when can we do this and get things done. So Gemini and Taurus actually have a lot in common. Their hero is extroverted thinking, and their inferior are introverted feeling. So they are the taskmasters. They absolutely love getting things done. It's like a CEO boss babe or hunk type of thing. They can like to think slower pace due to analyzing all the details, but the sun will often make them still jump on things. Balancing Mercury and the sun out here creates a real force to be reckoned with, for sure. And then the next Mercury we have for Gemini sun is in Cancer. It's called the caring communicator. So placing, thinking, and communicating with a cardinal water Cancer, initiating and creating new ways of feeling and emotionalizing, that is the cardinal water. So there's a thin line between feelings and emotions. The feelings are considered a circle and emotions a square. You put your feelings into the emotions. And this is how we have a hard time understanding how we feel, but our emotions is the box we put our feelings in, like I said. So feelings come and go, but emotions are something that you repress, sit on, etc. So when they think and communicate, there has to be an expression of feeling behind it. They will cut you off when they don't care. They think they're funny. They actually do have a pretty wet sense of humor, so to speak. Like having a sense of humor, like I have a dry sense of humor, so it's like pretty logical. I will say something like bluntly and directly, and people often are like, is she joking or not? And it's like, that's how I play on sarcasm. But with like wet sense of humor, it's hilarious to say. That really means wetness is water, and the water signs represents the feelings and the emotions. So really good storytellers can like tie in feelings and emotions. A lot of comedians are like Cancers and Geminis, or Geminis with Cancer Mercuries. They are good at storytelling and getting you pulled into the story or joke because they know how to tie in feelings and emotions. They can pull on that within you. And quite a few Geminis, actually, male Geminis, and maybe female Geminis, I'm not sure. But with the Gemini males, I have experienced, I'll just say that a lot of them tend to have admitted, and I've seen it in my own personal life, having anger issues. So they go from 0 to 100 really quick. And they, like Geminis and Cancers, I was actually with one for 5 years, and they really, like Cancer is the home. It's the fourth house. It represents your family, your home, what is very dear to your heart. And Geminis are very weighty, and they know how to play the mental gymnastics, but they also tie in this feeling and emotion, so it's like they can really, really cut you deeply with their tongue, for sure. So, anyways, I just went on a tangent, but it's definitely something I'm well aware of. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say that they are very good storytellers and comedians, for sure. They know how to make you laugh, and they can connect with your emotions and put them into words because of the air Gemini sun sign. And they are sweet talkers, but can switch up real quick. So Cancers are known to be very moody and sassy.
Yes, and they have a preconception of how you feel. So Geminis are very social. They're one of the most social. They understand social cues and dynamics. And Geminis in general, they like log in all of how people think. They can like grasp. That's a mutable sign, so they're very open to how people think, and they can play on that. They can use it. It's very interesting how that works. But with Gemini and Cancer, they can also do this with feelings and your communication. So they definitely can see into you more than you know. they get naive into their own power. So this is an amazing power that they have, but they get naive into it, or it's kind of like autopilot, and they can like, they know that something's going to happen and how people act, feel, or think, but they can really, like when you're on autopilot, you're really good at something, and it's just kind of like subconscious after that, so they can like jump to conclusions. And, like, if you go out of your pattern, they're going to assume that you're doing something, and they will assume they know how you're feeling and thinking. They will tell you how you are feeling and thinking, and assume other things are going on. It's like they use their introverted intuition parents, and they, like, tie in. They just tie all these dots together that they think they see, and they jump to conclusions, and yeah, definitely be aware of that and try not to do that. You are very powerful in knowing how people think and feel, but don't just assume. Definitely talk to people about that. Okay. Okay, so it's like a very outer body. There's so much in their head that it's like an outer body experience. Like they're here, but not really. It's like the mind talking to the body. They can multitask, and it feels like two people. Gemini is the twins. And they look like they're thinking, but aren't. You never really know what's going on with the Gemini. Geminis will intimidate you before doing the action. Not to say they won't, but they'll say it to make you think that. So it's like they say they're very good at saying things because they think they know how you're going to react. But they'll, I don't know, it can manifest. They can be in manifest mode all day, but might not make them flourish. Amazing people, and I do love them to death. But my God, you're never going to really know what's going on. They're master communicators, and yeah. So that was my little rant tangent. Hopefully, this was educational. And if you have anything to add, feel free to comment. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.